Om. Rare it is that one is physically awake, but the mind is not in gear, meaning it is not connecting with thoughts and feelings in any personal way. So simply noticing any sensation that goes by its own laws. There's no need to force this. This is not your work. Real work, if you want to say, is to keep the attention in the unmoving place. Or even to say to keep the attention is not a force, not forcefully. That stillness is there anyway, unkept. Find it. It's not a question of how long can I stay here without engaging with thoughts. Is itself a thought. Any thought, any sensation is easily recognized against the background of this immensity of being. Very simple. Whatever you see is measurable, quantifiable. What you cannot see is the infinite. This you can only be. It is not an object of perception. The very act or functioning of perception arises in that which perceives perceiving. Take note of this. So it is not an act of becoming something or even unbecoming. This is not a game of stillness. Just a recognition of that which is unchanging. It is not watched from somewhere else. You are not an object of perception. How long does the silence last in your world? It is not a question of how long silence goes on for. notice that there's just a field of easiness. Silence. There's no one being silent. Otherwise you keep identity with something trying to be silent. You're not waiting. This is not a special thing or practice that you do. Bring the mind and attention to your own self. Historyless. Do not cling to anything. No thought, nor feeling. Nothing to become. Leave everything aside now. You try not to associate with any form or ideas or feeling. What you discover, you have not created. You're entirely alone, but not as a person, not as an object, not as a shape. Here, the play or the flow of thoughts is only superficial. Waves on the surface of the ocean. Don't identify, don't be concerned about that. Stay as the unmoving one. It's simply a matter of attention. When attention is put on the mind or person, personal self, movement, agitation, doing, remaining as a self, whatever whatever goes also, and is noticed to come and go. You're not in a creative state. Our nature is the uncreated self. the movements of names, time, form. These are the clouds passing. Don't be concerned, clouds passing. Remaining as a self, one's daily activities unfold in harmony. You have noticed that. There's no need to worry that one must attend to the movements of the mind. So it's not a time for figuring things out. Let go of this habit to hold on to, or to develop relationships with the thought, intention. Any sense of attachment is not for the self. Attachments do not improve upon your being. And yet, notice all things are taken care of naturally. Nothing to be obsessed or overly concerned about. Be in the recognition of the self. Which is a non-phenomenal recognition. So whatever activities take place inside the mandir has a start, duration, ending. What in you does not change? Notice. Does not change. Yet it never goes stale or stagnant. Ever fresh. The true self does not experience distraction. Mind and body, senses function well and in harmony when they recognize their source. When the source is recognized, everything unfolds and flows in perfect harmony. Notice this. The sense of personhood wants to be visible. It wants to be something. But the self cannot be seen in this way. Holding on to thought and shape, name and form. Experientially and effectively you become these. Notice only from the place I am pointing to. The movement of time and name, and forms and shape is superficial to the one who sees. And yet even here, things unfold smoothly and without strain. Few in this world pay attention to the self. Most are engaged with the productions from the mind. So leave time now aside. Shapes, concepts, do not be combined with any form. It is so simple, so natural, hidden seemingly only by habit. The self is without habit. These play only in the realm of the person. Notice that activities by themselves does not obstruct or hide the self. They are natural flow of the vital force in the field of the manifest. It is very simple. It is already so. Nothing to do or undo. Nothing artificial. There is no urge to engage with you personally. Apart from what comes and goes, what really is here? Unforced. Is it not yourself? Yourself, the self, isness. It's all the same. Consciousness. The timeless one. Struggling to concentrate. It's not you. Trying to be present. It's not you. Noisy mind. It's not you. Having a wonderful day. It's not you. Falling apart. It's not you. Not this. All identity are you able to hear? Special, not you. Is this unbearable? From the pure, you're not in the act of creating now. Just being. Do not cling to the habitual activities of the mind. Though it is noticeable, leave this now. Not clinging to any name or shape or time. Who are you? Any sense of discomfort? For whom is this? Except the idea we hold on to of who we believe we are. The self is not believing, it simply is. Be in your isness. It is timeless, therefore there's no strain. You're not one who is imprisoned by or in the mind. It's only the sense of personhood. The idea, I cannot stay in the self for long, is an idea arising in the timeless and effortless self. Notice this. The sense of being free or bound. Touching neither of these. I have endeavored to bring you to the highest understanding. Free from conceptual limitations. Unbound, timeless. Because of this, you can feel the shaking mind, the discomfort of personhood, and it feels unbearable. Because you are passing beyond these, and paradoxically, you're not moving at all. How strange. Going somewhere in stillness. I would like to ask you to open your eyes. Nothing that you can perceive through the senses should disturb you. There is no need to try and escape. Everything has its place. The sense of the moving world and the unchanging self. How can they be one? And yet there's a harmony. Uncreated harmony. Unless we allow the sense of personhood to disturb this, even it cannot be disturbed. Actually, the self is not a way. It is not a path. It is not a belief. Is it too simple for you? For who? Is the self still special? Does it exist in highlights? Look, but don't become what you see. There's nothing to become except playfully. What concepts is binding us to the world? Don't judge the world. What concepts are binding us to the world? When we have concepts that we are holding on to that is binding you to the world, you cannot see as it really is. Then judgments will come, fear will come, aggression will come, frustration will come. Stay as and inside the isness itself. And notice all things flowing by and inside their inherent harmony. Is this alive in you? Or is it still a striving to reach some place? If we are striving to reach some place created in the mind, for how long will you be satisfied? Your nature, our nature, is perfect silence and peace. there's really no sorrow for you. So now I leave you in the wordless place. So that your world becomes beautiful again, unmolested by the projections of the person. Where is it that we are free of need, of neediness? And yet my words are not fully understood. Whatever I say, you must verify it must be completed inside your being, in the pure intelligence you are, not the person. Keep discerning. Keep discerning. What is from what appears. You're inside this body, but also this body is inside you. The whole world is inside you. When we look from and as awareness itself, is it unnatural? Leave God to take care of the world. And observe. Like this you will know God. Have a favorite day, a favorite moment. Can you keep? Happy New Year. What does it mean to the self? The timeless one. And yet, this we can enjoy.